Clone Wars, we're showing that there's still a lot more Star Wars stories to tell.
All units, fire at will!
Our goal in Season 1 was to bring Star Wars in an animated form to the small screen in a way that was true to the original movies. To do that, it needed to be epic in scope. You're going to have all types of stories to watch. Action, adventure,
Mysteries, romance, comedies, westerns.
It's called Star Wars, and people have an expectation to see something incredible.
Shoot him now!
You fought in the Clone Wars?
Yes. I was once a Jedi Knight, the same as your father.
Back in the very beginning, the Clone Wars was just mentioned as something that I had written in the backstory about this war which ultimately turned the Republic into an empire.
It is the period that happens between the films Attack of the Clones, which shows you the initial battle of the Clone Wars, and Revenge of the Sith, which shows you the ending of the Clone Wars.
The interesting thing about the Clone Wars is that in the normal course of the Skywalker saga, it's not told, it's skipped over. We never get into the details of what happens during the war. Obviously, during a war, there's lots and lots of stories. Very exciting action, drama, heartbreak, and comedy. And this idea was intriguing to me because it really did allow me to broaden the canvas of what Star Wars is about. There's enough time over the period of the series to deal with a lot of the other Jedi, other characters. We're not dealing primarily with the tragedy of Anakin Skywalker. We're dealing with a series of episodes.
Clone Wars series follows the adventures of Anakin Skywalker, Obi-Wan Kenobi, and a brand new character, Ahsoka Tano, in their fight against the evil forces of Count Dooku and Darth Sidious.
We produce these each like mini-movies. So when you go to watch them, you can sit down with your family and feel like you're going to see an event each week.
Every episode of the Clone Wars has a built-in thematic message. Like the Star Wars movies, the thematic elements of the Clone Wars are represented in stories about loyalty and honor and courage and sacrifice, people overcoming their personal demons.
What does it mean to be a good warrior? Do I believe in myself? Each episode is about something. That's the quote you see at the beginning. The series very intentionally was set up so that each episode's standalone. But sometimes three of them will add up to tell a bigger story. In the case of the Malevolence, there's a story about the Jedi battling this giant battle cruiser that Grievous is in charge of.
Brace for impact! Quickly, into the pods!
The first part of the story is about Plo Koon, the venerable Jedi. His soldiers believing in themselves that they can survive the attack in the escape pod that they're in.
Dave and I had always envisioned Plo Koon as this very experienced Jedi, much like an old sage, like a wizard character.
I think it wise to report our position before we attack.
When Plo and the clones are trapped in the pod, we get to see a whole new side of a Jedi here. One who is really giving hope to these clones who think their lives are lost and that they're expendable.
I value your life more than finding that weapon.
He doesn't have a Padawan at the time of this war, but he has soldiers to lead. He tries to teach them values that he would have taught a Padawan, because at the end of the day, a Jedi is a teacher.
Do you think we've got a chance, General?
I don't believe in chance, Commander. I know if we work together, we will stay alive. And someone will find us.
In the last part of the Malevolence series, Anakin goes in to finish off the Malevolence with Obi-Wan Kenobi, and Padme gets brought into the mix.
My goodness!
This isn't right. That's a droid warship. We're in the middle of a battle.
We get a chance to see Anakin and Padme together in an adventure setting.
And see the challenges that Padme and Anakin are up against, because they don't get to see each other very often, and that's not much fun for either of them, especially with the new marriage.
Anakin!
Anytime you have two characters that love each other and you put them in a situation where they could be killed at any minute, there's bound to be high emotion.
The bridge is out!
Jump to me! I'll use the Force! You have to trust me!
You're going to be surprised by a lot of what you see in the Clone Wars. Kit Fisto, he's a Jedi Master that you see in Attack of the Clones. He's famous for smiling after he pushes the battle droid over on C-3PO. So that's all we knew about this guy. Wow, he's got long green tentacles and he's got a killer smile. But beyond that, what kind of Jedi was he? And we learn about him by learning about his Padawan, Nadar Veb.
Nadar! Congratulations on passing the trials. I'm sorry the war prevented me from seeing your training through to the end.
You were Mistmaster, but it is an honor to finally serve beside you as a knight.
Kit Fisto's former apprentice, Nadar, is a full-fledged Jedi Knight. And the war has really got to him, and he's kind of started to solve problems by using power.
Where'd he go? The clones got in the way. I could have taken him.
One mistake you can make as a Jedi is rushing the war to a conclusion. I want to fix all these problems, and Nadar kind of seizes that. He also thinks, yes, my master Kit Fisto taught me a certain way to do things, but this is a war, and people are dying every day. And isn't it worth compromising some of my values?
Grievous is going to pay for this. I will destroy him.
I understand your pain, but you forget your teachings, Nadar. Revenge is not the Jedi way.
But in this war, strength prevails. The rules have changed.
Perhaps you are the one who has changed.
Kit's trying to instruct his former apprentice that, this is what the Sith do. This is what the enemies of the Jedi do, the bad guys. And, it isn't until, too late that Nadar realizes his mistake.
Nadar, inside, hurry!
No, you go, I will hold him off.
There's no time to argue.
We can't just run, we must finish him.
Nadar, hurry!
I have been waiting for this.
Nadar!